Hi folks, Robo here. Welcome back to Robo's House of Guitars. Today I'm going to be doing a string change on a Floyd Edge Tremolo system. What I usually do first is I go ahead and unlock this. Get all three loose. You can take all three of these saddles off and set them aside. Once those are off or loose, you come down here and you block the tremolo system up with whatever you seem necessary. I use a little kid's wooden ruler. Seems to work the best. Always set it on top of a microfiber towel or some kind of a soft cloth that doesn't scratch your body, and it's already set. Now, spring tension is very important. You want to try to maintain the strength on the springs and the bridge at all times, because if you take off your strings and it floats down inside the cavity, it's going to be a bear to try to retune and get correct again. So I block it up just for that reason. I also take off all of the strings, not just one, and replace it with a new one. Replace it with a new one. I take them all off because, as you see, the strings are in the way from the fretboard. Once all the strings are off, you can then condition the fretboard. Do any kind of crowning you may need to do, adjusting of the frets, polishing of any kind of the fretboard. Bring back some luster and some life to the wood. As you see, this is pretty dry, and I am due to set up this one tonight and bring it back to life. They do gather wood, they gather particles, they gather junk, finger jam, boogers, whatever else that comes from your fingers, sweat, and they will start to ruin the fretboard. So you want to try to condition the fretboard to keep it lively and fresh at all times. Now, once those are all completely off and my fretboard is polished and conditioned, I put strings back on, and after they're all back on, I stretch them. I pull them up, I stretch them all the way down, retune it. Continue to do that until you see that the stretching is starting to float away and the string is staying true to the tune. Now, you do that for each and every one. I usually grab the guitar and get it underneath the string like this and pull up on it while I'm using my finger to put on the fret itself while I'm pulling up on it. That will stretch it from here all the way up to here. It stretches the entire string out, so that way there's less chance of it going out of tune. But that's basically it. Make sure the height of your tremolo is good and your saddles are basically in line with the body. If you need to make any spring adjustments in the back, that's another story and another video altogether. But I can quickly tell you that if the tremolo is raised up out of the cavity too much, you're going to need to take and open up the back and drive your two spring bolts into the body, maybe about a turn, and it will bring this back down. You'll need to retune once you do an adjustment in the back of the spring claw, but it will probably be well worth it to bring the tremolo down to where you want it to be and nice and flush. And mine is just a tad bit raised up, but as you can see, the saddles are perfectly in line with the body. That's what you want to see right there. So, and down inside there is a little notch. You can see it. That right there has to be right there at the edge of the body line. That way you know that this is raised up just the exact amount you need it, and on the reverse side as well. I always try to keep this side a little higher than this one because of the gauge of the string. So that way you've got a smooth flow of the string. When you pluck it and you strum across it, you know you've got an even level of the strings. Have I missed anything? No, I don't think so. One thing I will point out is after you do a string change and a spring adjustment, you'll want to take your bar out and check out your gaskets and your O-rings and make sure that they are in good shape. If your bar starts to flop down and just hangs there and swings back and forth, you know it's time to change those little bushings. So keep fresh bushings in there and it will stay about where you need it to be and perform properly. So that's it. But if you got any questions, leave them at the bottom and feel free to comment. And thanks for joining me at Robo's House of Guitars. Peace.